In the annals of history, aviator Charles Lindbergh Sr. emerged as the most celebrated figure on the planet, having etched his name in the skies as the first soul to soar solo and uninterrupted across the vast Atlantic expanse. But in the heart-wrenching year of 1932, a shroud of darkness descended upon the Lindbergh household, engulfing their nearly 2-year-old bundle of joy, Charles Charlie Lindbergh Jr., in the chilling throes of kidnapping. The world's gaze fixated on the ominous riddle that unfolded, casting a web of intrigue that persists even in the modern era. Today, we embark on a journey through the enigmatic corridors of the infamous Lindbergh baby kidnapping, where shadows dance and secrets lurk. But before we dive into this chilling tale, don't forget to subscribe and share in the comments your appetite for more historical crime stories that send shivers down your spine. Now, let's venture into the abyss of the Lindbergh baby's disappearance. As the kidnapping unraveled, the New Jersey State Police's initial theory pointed fingers inward, toward an inside job. Suspicion brewed from the uncanny knowledge possessed by the abductor, who navigated with eerie precision to the baby's chamber. The Lindbergh home was still a work in progress, unoccupied officially, with weekends being the sole exception. Yet, the fateful abduction occurred on a Tuesday, a detail privy only to a select few, and Mauro Lindbergh's parents and a household maid who had often cared for the infant. The other occupants that evening, the baby's nanny and the Lindbergh butler, resided within the house itself. Remarkably, the baby's nursery bore no fingerprints, not even those one would expect, leading to suspicions that Charles Lindbergh may have orchestrated the cleaning of the crime scene as the investigation unfolded. A chilling facet of the Lindbergh baby's tale intertwines with the fate of household staff members. The relentless interrogation of Lindbergh's employees began even before the sole official suspect, Bruno Richard Hauptmann, came into the picture. Foremost among these was Violet Sharp, a housemaid in the employ of Anne's parents. She often found herself caring for the Lindbergh baby, being one of the few privy to the family's presence in their new home on the night of the abduction. Thus, she found herself atop the police suspect list. Sharp faced multiple harsh interrogations, pressured by the urgency to unravel the mystery and return the child. Sadly, Violet Sharp's lies about her whereabouts on that fateful night only deepened her predicament. When the baby's remains were discovered, her distress escalated, culminating in a tragic end as she took a fatal dose of cyanide. Similarly, Oliver Whately, the Lindbergh's butler and one of the 5 individuals present on the night of the kidnapping, faced relentless questioning and succumbed to peritonitis shortly after. The spotlight turned to the homemade ladder, an integral element of the kidnapping. While rudimentary in appearance, it bore the hallmark of a craftsman, featuring an ingenious design that allowed for expansion and effortless concealment. Fingerprint checks and comparisons to scuffs on the nursery windowsill unveiled crucial clues. The ladder was constructed from various wood types, including indoor construction-grade wood. Arthur Kohler, a Forest Service expert, meticulously dissected and inspected each ladder component, visiting wood factories, processing centers, and homes linked to the Lindberghs and their acquaintances. Kohler's painstaking efforts would soon yield dividends. When Bruno Richard Hauptmann was apprehended due to his possession of numbered ransom banknotes, investigators found a critical piece of the puzzle within his attic, a wooden plank that matched perfectly with one used in the kidnapper's ladder. Nevertheless, some experts contend that this evidence may have been deliberately planted in Hauptmann's attic to frame him. Thumb guards, seemingly relics from a bygone era, came to the fore as a perplexing element in the Lindbergh baby's life. These guards, intended to curb thumb-sucking in children, tethered little Charlie, preventing him from indulging in the habit. Curiously, weeks after the abduction, a thumb guard identical to Charlie's was discovered crushed in the Lindbergh home's driveway. This finding posed baffling questions, as the location diverged from the kidnapper's presumed path. The enigmatic personality of Charles Lindbergh concealed various facets of his character, including a penchant for practical jokes, both playful and sinister. At times, his jests took a dark turn, causing fear and panic among their recipients. His wife, Anne, bore the brunt of these jests, often subjected to calculated frights. In fact, when Charlie vanished from his crib, the baby's nanny, Betty Gao, initially suspected another of Lindbergh's practical jokes. Gao's suspicion stemmed from an incident just 2 months prior when Lindbergh concealed the child in a closet, terrorizing his wife and household. Intriguingly, another layer of Charles Lindbergh's persona came to light after his death, his deep-seated interest in eugenics, a belief in breeding for a superior human race. Lindbergh considered himself a carrier of exceptional genes and ardently supported Hitler's eugenics program. He pursued relationships with German women, seeking to unite his genetics with those of similar backgrounds. This pursuit, concealed during his lifetime, led to the birth of children outside his marriage. Notably, his sister-in-law, Elizabeth Morrow, grappled with mental illness. Lindbergh, aware of her condition, might have regarded her genetics unfavorably. Elizabeth, in turn, became a suspect in the kidnapping due to her resentment toward her sister's marriage. She had once hidden Charlie in a trash closet, and the Lindberghs prohibited her from interacting with the child. And Morrow Lindbergh, a skilled aviator and author, shared her aviation experiences in published memoirs. Among these works, Hour of Gold, Hour of Lead contained her poignant reflections on her son's kidnapping. She recounted the moment investigators discovered Charlie, describing how some of his golden locks remained. She did not speculate about the identity of the kidnapper but expressed her fears of forgetting the details of her son's face and the sensation of cradling him. At the inception of the investigation, Charles Lindbergh advocated communication between himself, the police, and the kidnapper. A series of handwritten letters and newspaper messages followed, with the kidnapper demanding a $50,000 ransom. The identity of the letter's author remains contentious, as the man eventually arrested, tried, and convicted, Bruno Richard Hauptmann, was proficient in German, yet the letter indicated the writer might have been a non-German posing as one. In a bid for authenticity, the kidnapper sent the sleeper garment that Charlie wore the night of his disappearance. To further confound investigators, the sleeper appeared freshly laundered. Yet, the Lindberghs identified it as their son's. Tragically, other articles of Charlie's clothing surfaced on May 12, 1932, when his lifeless body was stumbled upon in a ditch, a mere 4 miles from his home. He was still clad in his white undershirt, by then heavily stained. As the remnants of the Lindbergh baby's existence unveiled themselves, a haunting question lingered: who, indeed, was responsible for this heart-wrenching crime? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and while you ponder this chilling mystery, explore other captivating videos from the best true crime.